When we came here to Lisner, with nearly every seat filled on April the 4th, 1983, there was one thing that was certain, and that was that something potentially devastating was about to happen. And we had to arm ourselves, and we had to get ready. By word of mouth, by flyers put on car windshields parked outside Southeast DC bars, with this poster here displayed, using a photograph of a shattered torso done by Ray Targowski. With all of this, the notice of the AIDS forum passed through the community. And in a time when there was no Twitter, no Facebook, no email, no websites, 1,100 persons showed up on that night to find out what this was all about. At that time, we did not know a single person living with AIDS, though in fact, they were in the audience in great numbers. But we didn't know, and they didn't know, because the only test for AIDS back then was serious illness. There was then a sense that you got AIDS somehow sexually, and that condoms mattered. But we were just learning how AIDS was transmitted and how it could be stopped. Those unknown questions bred countless fears. We believed then, as we do now, that if we could muster the will to marshal the resources, we could stop AIDS dead in its tracks, and we could care for those in dire need. But the federal government offered no help with prevention or services funding, and was painfully slow to act on medical research. Mainstream institutions, usually well-motivated, hesitated or refused altogether to get involved. Homophobia, AIDS phobia were huge daily obstacles. We knew we had to do something, and fast. The AIDS response in this area was born that night in this room. After getting the best information, graphically depicted with medical slides from the expert panel, after hearing and seeing a person actually living with the disease, John Willick was his name, hearing and seeing him speak of the disease and the life that brought him to it, after all of that, it became a call to action, and the people that here that night responded. They became the AIDS program of Whitman-Walker, the city and the region. That night, an energy was unleashed that I am proud to say continues to this very hour. By any measure, the Ryan White Care Act has made the critical difference in the quality of life for those living with AIDS. Its namesake was somewhat unlikely, as often is the case, was a young, courageous boy from Indiana who simply wanted to live every day to its fullest, and who did not want people referring to him as poor Ryan who is dying. His mother told him of his diagnosis the day after Christmas in 1984. In 1988, Ryan White spoke before the National AIDS Commission. He told the commission of the discrimination he had faced when he first tried to return to school, but how education about the disease had made him not welcome in that community, but in another community. And he worked the rest of his life to educate all of us on the facts of AIDS. Ryan White died on April the 8th, 1990. He was 20 years of age. Over 1,500 people attended his funeral on April the 11th, a standing room only event held at the Second Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis. White's pallbearers included Elton John, football star Howie Long, and Phil Donahue. Elton John performed Skyline Pigeon at the funeral. The funeral was also attended by Michael Jackson and First Lady Barbara Bush. We're very, very honored and pleased tonight to have with us Ryan's mother. Please join with me in welcoming Jeannie White-Ginder.